Post-apocalyptic fiction is just great. Everything is broken, humanity hanging on, there is this haunting, empty world vibe. Visually, it's one of the coolest genres to work with. I picked 5 books that just came out on Amazon to see what authors are doing with their covers. Some work, some don't, and as always at the end I will take one and show how I would redesign it. So let's start! The first book we have is Paradise Lost, a post-apocalyptic AMP survival thriller. So first of all, when actually I saw the thumbnail of this book, I actually was attracted because the title is visible, there is something going on the cover, there are these colorful spots. So when I dive in, actually it changed a little bit how I feel about this book, so let's have a look. First of all, let's start what is good on this cover. The title is contrast enough, so it will be visible as a thumbnail in search results. The title is large enough, it's distinctive, the font is readable. Same I can say about the author name. The other text, international best-selling author. It's very hard to read even in this size, in the full size. Dark Paradise Series Book 1. If this is a valuable information, then make this text larger, make it more visible. Otherwise, just don't edit at all. There is no point to have the text that you cannot read anyway. Interesting things are going on the cover itself. Let's zoom in and check what's going on. Actually, I don't really understand what's going on here. It looks like some resort, not the most luxury one, with some simple bungalows. And for some reason, the couple is walking towards the explosion. Why they would do that? Usually, when something is exploding and burning, people actually run from there. Behind them, there is a crocodile on the road, badly photoshopped. Why it's there, what it brings to the cover, does it make any sense or create mood? I'm not sure about that. Also, I don't understand what actually they carry, this couple. Why in front of some houses there are regular cars and in front of other houses there are golf cars? It doesn't look like a golf place at all. I mean, I understand this is AI generated cover, but I think some human control is essential. You should have a look at what AI created for you and fix it if necessary. Here it wasn't done, obviously. If your cover looks amateurish, then consciously or subconsciously, potential reader thinks that your writing also can be amateurish. So it's not only about visuals, it's about whole impression that you make with your cover. So I would give to this cover a no. Next cover, The Day the World Went Quiet by William Stone. So overall I like the feeling of this cover. These frosty wastelands with one lonely house and wrecked cars around looks actually pretty apocalyptic. Sky looks disturbing. I feel this frost from the image. Title is distinctive, text is large, so I'm pretty sure this cover looks okay as a thumbnail. In the search results you can easily read the title. There are some problems here that I see right now. The article there, it's necessary by the grammar rules, but the work of designer to make them less distinctive than the rest of the text. It takes too much attention without any necessity. So I would work a little bit with typography. Otherwise, I think this cover actually does its job. It creates certain mood, it attracts attention, it's easily readable even as a thumbnail. So I think we can say yes to this cover, why not? Next cover is Tower Bound Book 5. Tower Bound is not just a game, little RPG time. Okay, so first of all, not even looking at the cover, I see keywords stuffing in the title, which is not actually a really good idea. Something went wrong with this cover from the very beginning. There is so much text that hierarchy is not obvious. It's not obvious what is name of the book, what is name of the series, what is title, subtitle. Tower Bound and Tower Bound is not just a game have almost the same weight on this cover. So I suspect that Tower Bound is the name of the book. But what is the text above? OPMC plus dystopian time travel, a game lead novel books. I barely able to read this tiny text even on the full-size cover. Easily can imagine that it will be pretty impossible to read on a thumbnail of this cover. Furthermore, the main text will be impossible to read on the thumbnail as well. It's very tiny, it's very thin, it has a low contrast with the background blending together, so as you see here, yeah, visibility, it looks just like a mess. As it wasn't enough, author decided to add these decorative elements with another text. It's just repeating the Tower Bound is not just a game, repeated 3 times again on the cover, on this kind of posters, and then it's written also as this graffiti stuff. Whole cover becomes just a mess. the title repeated many times, but none of those times is visible. And this tiny text on the top, it's just, don't do that, don't do that. So this cover need probably complete redesign, and at the moment we can say to this cover only and no. Next book, Z Altitude, I don't know, book 3, Frozen Vector, blah blah blah. ChatGPT generated illustration, but this is not even the main problem. Illustration actually itself is not too bad. It provokes interest. There are some issues that doesn't make much sense on the cover. If this airplane landing or it's actually crashing, because if it's crashing, it doesn't look like, because it has the gears down, it has flaps out, so it looks like it's gonna land, but the landscape around tells us that it's probably not gonna land. Maybe author wanted to say that if there is some emergency, then the airplane is gonna crash there and there are zombies around, but the execution could be better. The bottom part of the illustration I like much more, but the top part, it can look better. The other problem is the text hierarchy. Again, what is title, what is subtitle? Z Altitude, but book 3, Frozen Vector. So Z Altitude, what is that? It's a series, and the name of the book is Frozen Vector. Then why Frozen Vector is smaller than the name of the series? I would put Frozen Vector as a title of the book and make it much larger, and Z Altitude I would say I would put as a series. DC Wolfe. If you are not so famous author, if you are not Stephen King or something, maybe you should be a bit more modest about your name on the cover, just because the reader probably doesn't know you anyway, and potential customer won't recognize the book just by seeing your name. So you actually steal very valuable space on the cover just to make your name so large, so prominent, which probably doesn't make much sense. I think we can stay neutral on this book. I cannot say it's terrible. I think with some minor redesign of certain element, it definitely can become a workable cover. And the final book, The Savage Boy, The Wasteland Saga Book 2. And this cover is just great. I'm totally in love with that. There are some super minor things I would do differently, but otherwise the design is just great. It has the prominent title, it's visible, very distinctive. It has this feeling of the adventure books from like 70s, 80s. The illustration itself provokes interest. Aesthetically, it's very pleasant. The typography works fine. And actually, I even look at the other books in the series, and they all have the same distinctive design. They all have similar covers with a black and white illustration, with a title on the top, with this feeling of the old books. So yeah, well done. And now, as I promised, I will try to slightly redesign this cover. I think we can make few moves and make it look even better. Okay, so first of all, let's get rid of the current title and make the sky even a little bit more dramatic, something like this. Let's also get rid of the author name, replace it with a snow texture. Current illustration is a little bit too smooth and AI-ish, so let's add some artifacts. I want to make the center of the image, the house, a little bit more prominent, so I make the edges of the image darker, and the house I will make a little bit brighter, so it will actually pop a little bit more from the background, something like this. Let's add the author name. I want to set some more obvious hierarchy for the title, so I want to make the articles there less prominent. I want to make day, world, and went quiet more prominent, because this is something that will catch attention on the cover. So let's experiment a little bit. Let me know in the comments which one you prefer, the old one or the new one. And that's it for today. It was Alex from EasyKDP. And if you want your book cover design, please check our website easykdp.com. You can see our portfolio there, you can see our pricing. And thanks for watching. See you next time.